Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Bamifemi, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm fan. Thank you.
so yeah, I'm about to share my screen. Just give me.
You have permission to share your screen.
Yes, yes, yes. A second.
Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to close some apps so that my system runs faster. Uh, Felix, the spreadsheet I sent you, can you please forward it back to me?
Oh, okay. 1 minute.
Yes.
Yeah, you should have it now.
Okay. Okay, so let me share my screen. So can anybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so where does to begin? Okay, so this is a design I did on a framer template I did a while ago. I think around when did I even upload it? Can't remember now, but this is a while ago, like February last year or March. Okay, and this website came with both light mode and dark mode. And if I go on to preview it, so you can see it's a it is very simple design, straight to the point, with a bunch of benefits, interfaces, and stuff like that. And all of this was done without using a single line of code. And most of these designs, I just literally like transfer them from Figma. For those of us that are familiar with Figma, I just literally transfer them from Figma um to Framer, then hosting this website, and it has been getting me paid. Okay, so I'm not going to go into like how we can build something like this, but I'm going to go into like more foundations, because when we really understand our foundations, it will be easier for us to what's the word now? It's easier for us to like build even amazing and more complex stuff. If you notice by just scrolling here, this elements actually cascade into this frame. So these are little animations that we're going to do, not for this class, but for like for those interested in advanced class. Okay. So that's a little bit about me. And then if you also want to check my portfolio website, I also built it with Framer. Okay. So you can see it's just very simple, but the animation makes the portfolio website stand out even more. The only thing that was made with code here was this form here, right? But it's something that you don't really need to code to do, but I have to use code because I wanted a specific customization for where message has been delivered to me. So that was fine. Okay. So so this is a very simple website, not really complex. And if you notice, it is only when I scroll that my navigation comes in view. Like these are stuff you can achieve with Framer. So for the purpose of this class, let me just create a new project. Okay. Yeah, so for the purpose of this class, we are going to be learning positioning, right? So the last time Felix was able to walk us through how we can build a simple button, how we can navigate the interfaces. But today we are going to be doing like an even more deep dive into how we can leverage the existing knowledge that Felix has given us, and an additional knowledge for me, so that we can build a simple hero design. Okay, so at the end of this class, we're going to be able to build a simple hero design. So I'm just going to go to one of my favorite places for getting inspiration, Rapper Ninja. Okay, to just get an interesting hero section. Yeah, so I like this hero section. So we are going to try and build something like this. Okay, it's going to be very easy and straightforward. All right. Maybe if we have time, we may like do a little bit of responsiveness. All right, so that we can have like a better view of how responsiveness works with Framer. Okay, so I literally just copied the website from you and then I'm pasting it in Framer. So I can have the inspiration on this side. I'm not going to be using the exact image, but I can like use an image online. So now if you look at the structure of this page, right? There are multiple ways in which we can actually position elements within the Figma canvas, which will now be translated to HTML, CSS for the browser to understand. Okay, but the multiple ways, interestingly, are only just two, right? And that is, we have both stack and grid. And majorly, I'll be using just the stack section, okay, but I can touch a little bit on the grid if time permits. Okay, it's not going to be a very long class because I just want us to like really understand the fundamentals, because these fundamentals I'm about to touch on is the one that is going to take us to amazing heights, especially when we want to work with like something like Framer. Okay, so out of the box, when you create a new project, what do you get? You get this desktop 1200. If you are interested in creating responsive screens, that's when you click on this plus. Okay, but for now I'm just going to focus on just this screen here. So now if you come over to the extreme right, you can see that we have what we call layout, right? Now, before I switch over to layout so that you can see exactly what is working, I'm going to come over to layers, right? Now, there's a way we structure elements when we want to build websites, and everybody have their different system, but what I've seen to work for me is this. So first thing first, I'm going to create a frame. So I'll be using a lot of shortcuts, but I will first show you where it is, and then I'm going to switch over to the shortcut so that the tutorial moves even faster. So you can come over here and select this, and you can select frame, stack, grid. Okay, but for now I'm going to just select a frame. Okay, and a frame, for those that are familiar with Figma, is literally the same thing like what is in Figma. A frame, or you hit F on the keyboard, or S on your keyboard, or G to what? For grid, and I for Shift I for image, or Shift G for grid. So these are like shortcuts I just memorized to make my work even faster. Okay, so I'm just going to draw this frame out. Now this I am going to call section. So now if I come over to this website here, we have multiple sections. How do we define multiple sections? So we have this element here with this image. That is one section. This entire element here is another section. This entire element here is another section. This entire element here is also another section. This entire element here is another section. This is another section. And by now we should understand that anytime we have dividers, right? But this is the design pattern of this person's website. If I come over to my portfolio, this is an entire section. This is one section. And then you can even do it in such a way that an element from another section can overlap into your previous section. So it's more of like understanding what we call the box model, which I'm going to touch shortly too. So is whenever you have any a full screen, whatever element is in that full screen is known as your section. Now, before I switch over to frame, let me talk about what the box model is and what it stands for. Now, the box model is it's a very old model. It's the way website actually works. So if I right click and inspect this website like this now, okay, you will notice that every element I hover on is in a box. Can you see it? Every element, this is the entire page. This is a box. This element is a box. This element is a box, right? This element, despite the fact that it's rounded, is also a what? A box. Now, each element has two major properties, and that is padding and margin. Okay. Now, you may need to practice to really understand how margin works, but luckily, we are using Framer, so we are only going to be working with padding. So what padding just simply means is that the elements, the amount of space inside the box is known as padding. And we're going to see that very shortly. So while margin talks about the element, the amount of space outside the box. So when you're inside the box, you are working with what? Padding. When you're outside the box, you're working with margin. But in Framer, we don't use margin at all. The only time we are going to use margin is only when we want to set a certain type of positioning. But throughout this program, we are not going to even hear me talk about margin again. The only thing you hear me talk about is just padding. It's only for people that are writing code that might most likely need margin. Okay, so that is like pretty much the shortest version of understanding the box model. You can like do more research on how the box model works and all like that. If I show you a more graphic view, so this is what a box model looks exactly like. So the first part here is what we call the margin. That is, like I said, the space outside the box is known as what? As the margin. Now then, every box has a border. So that's why the fact that you cannot see doesn't mean that it's not there. It's actually there. Can you see it? So just around the green part, that is what? That is the border. So let me put that up again. Where do you go? If you have questions, you can write them down so that we can treat them properly at the end of the class. So you don't forget. Okay, and then we have a what? A border. Next to it, we also have what? Padding. And I said that padding, so if you look at it very well, you see that this has dotted lines. This has a straight line. This has dotted line. What does that mean? That means that anytime you see a dotted line, like within your browser, your developer tools now, because this is what we call a developer tool. it simply means that what? That element is a form of spacing. All right. And you now see well, let me put it like this now. You now see this actual size of that element. So if you look at, if I select this now, going away. Let me see whether I can put it on one side. Okay. So if I select this now, you can see that from the top, you can see span.framer dash text. Then you can see this amount of size, right? So if I select that here and scroll over and scroll down, you can see that the developer tools is showing us both the amount of size as well as the padding, and also what? The margin. Like I said, the margin is what? Is the space outside the box. So this external space that you are seeing here, that is highlighted color purple, that is what is known as what? The margin. While the space that is highlighted color green is known as what? Is known as the padding. So that's pretty much that about the idea of the box model. So now that we have that out of the way, so I'm going to zoom. Let me close this developer tools. I'm going to expand my screen fully. Okay. Then now I'm just going to come over here. So from out of the box, we have okay, I can't really see this clear. So let me just switch between. Okay, so I can see this now. So out of the box, you can see that we have this heading here, right? Now, this heading now has a padding. This particular screenshot image has a padding. Can you see it? So it has a padding around it. All right. So now, how do we now build everything so that it makes sense for the browser to understand? That is where we now have to start sectioning things, like I said. Now, inside your section, every section has a container. The reason why we use container inside section is such that sometimes we may want to do a full width, but the element inside that full width, we may want to control it whatever way we like. A typical example is this here. If you look at this now, this is a full width image, right? It means that it's taking up this entire space. But for this angle here like this now, we cannot do a full width. We have to put a container so that we are able to control the size of the elements here. And that is why we have to create that. So we have a section. I'm just going to copy and paste it again and then bring it back in. So let me just give it let me just change the fill for now. Okay, like so. So now that I've changed the fill color, we can go on to call this container. Nice. So now that we have this, I can just go ahead to center things. Right? So I'm going to bring this over here, like so. Now, let me shift this a bit, then give this some like a different color. Now, every browser has what we call a body page. And if I go back again to inspect my portfolio, you can see that here I have head, I have body. Now, body simply means the overall background holding all the elements together, which is literally the same thing as this that you're seeing here now. This, which is literally this same white background that you're seeing here, that it is what? Desktop. So this is what? The body. If you want to have access to the head section, you literally have to go to settings, right? And then scroll down under general, then scroll down before you can have access to the head tag. But I'm not paying for this for now, so that if when I want to like upgrade or something like that, that's when I can have access to the edge tag and I can paste whatever I want to paste in it. Okay. So now we already understand how the body works. We already understand how the edge works, because the thing is, sometimes you may need to like write some custom script. You don't need to write it. ChatGPT will do that for you. You can just like lift it, copy and paste into your edge section to do some even interesting things. Like, for example, you want to track your website, you want to track mouse movement, you want to be able to record users as they are using the website so that you can use it to like grow the company. These are like services you can even sell on top just designing website alone. Okay. Felix, I think this call is about to end. Might need
Okay.
to.
Let me
Okay.
just drop the call and we can join the link again. Let me just end the call now.
Okay.